So check this out. I'm writing this code right here with AI, but I'm just using the power of my laptop to generate this code. And I'll show you everything step by step in this video on how you can go on and set it up and do it as well. And I've partnered with Nvidia to show you guys how powerful modern RTX accelerated laptops are, from code generation to research work to something like gaming as well. By the way, this is an Asus TUF A14 laptop with Nvidia GeForce RTX 5060 laptop GPU, just in case you're wondering if I'm using some crazy GPU to do something like this. Alright, so first of all, let's go on and understand how we can set up a local AI inside of our laptop. So I'm going to go to Google and search Ollama. Now Ollama enables us to run local LLM models inside of our laptop, and it is completely free to use, by the way. Since we are on Windows, we are going to be running this command right here. So I'll just copy it up. Let's open the terminal and I'm going to paste this command right here and press enter, and you'll see that it will start downloading Ollama for Windows. Now meanwhile this is installing Ollama, you can go to their website and click on models right here. Now here you can find a ton of open source models that we can run inside of our laptop. Now there's very popular Qwen model, right? And it has different versions as well. I think the best one, if I say, is Qwen 3 for coding, for thinking, tool use, multiple different use cases, right? And it comes in different parameters as well. Now inside of our laptop, we have around 8 GB of VRAM. So I think a model with 8 billion parameters will be the ideal situation for us. And by the way, this is the same laptop that Nvidia markets as student recommended RTX accelerated. So I think this will enable us to test how accurate that is, right? So let's see. Okay, this is installing Ollama now. All right, there we go. It is installed. Let's run Ollama -- version to verify. Yep, it is installed. Awesome. Cool. Let's go on and install the local model inside of it, the local AI model. So I'm going to say Ollama and then the name of the model. So Qwen 3. And then we can specify the parameters. Now, if you install more parameters, it will be able to do reasoning better, right? For our situation, 8 billion model will be the best. So I'll say 8B right here and press enter. And you'll notice that it will start pulling that model. Now you can see I have already installed that model, so it's just don't need to download it again. But you guys can go on and download it and we can continue. Now once it is downloaded, we can say Ollama run Qwen 3 8 billion, right? And press enter, and you'll see now we can send the message to this model. Now notice, as soon as I send hi over here and press enter, you'll notice our GPU usage will increase over here. Check this out, 97%. That means this is using, in fact, our GPU to do the thinking and, answer it. Let me show you over here as well. So I'll say, how are you? Press enter and check this out. Over here, we can see the GPU usage over here, Llama server. You can ignore these other things. These are like screen recording and stuff. But yeah, everything is local inside of our laptop. Even if we turn off the internet, it will still continue to work. This is the power of having a local AI. Okay, cool. So this is for, running the local LLM. But what about coding? We want to code, right? So first of all, let's just download VS Code. If you don't have VS Code already inside of it, you can download it. I'm pretty sure most of you already do. So you can download it from right here. Let me just open it up. All right, there we go. I've opened VS Code right here and I have opened a new folder inside of it as well. Now, a lot of you guys might have already used something like Claude Code or Copilot for doing coding inside of VS Code, right? But since we are going to be only using our local AI to do this, so for that, I'm going to be installing something called as OpenCode. So this is kind of very similar to Claude Code. Let's click on it right here. And this is what we are supposed to run to install it. Actually, since we already have Ollama, what we need to do, so I'm here in my terminal. Let's just say bye over here to turn off this session. I'll say Ollama launch OpenCode right here. And you'll see that I've already installed it beforehand. But in your case, it will go on and download it and then launch it. And then it will show you all of these different models, right? A few of these are cloud models, few of them are local. But what we want to use is this Qwen 3 8 billion right here, right? And I have done a few setups over here. Let me show you exactly how you can go on and set it up. So first of all, if we go back to VS Code right here, I'm going to be creating a new file called opencode.json, something like this. And now inside of this, we need to write some configuration for our OpenCode. So first of all, it will be the schema which is OpenCode AI slash config.json. Then I'm going to be defining the model right here, which will be from Ollama, right? So Ollama slash Qwen 3 colon 8 billion. And by the way, by default, these Qwen models have, I think, around 8,000 tokens of context window, but we are going to be increasing it from 8,000 to 16,000. So I'll say 16K over here. This is just the model name over here. We are going to be writing that configuration later on. Then I'll say provider over here, which is going to be obviously Ollama. Inside of this, we are going to be adding few things like that it is compatible with @AI SDK slash OpenAI. Name will be Ollama local, and Ollama runs on localhost 11434. So you can, write these things exactly over here as well. Apart from this, now I'm going to be, configuring our model. So inside of this model right here, I'll say Qwen 3 8 billion dash 16K that we've written earlier. And inside this, I'm going to say name Qwen 3 8 billion. We would also need to enable tool call over here. This is very important so that it uses the OpenCode's tools like web search or, creating the files, etc. So tool call to be true. And then I'm going to set the context limits over here. So I'll say context will be 16384. And for the output, it will be 4096. And that is all. These are all the things that we need to do to configure OpenCode. Now we can finally go on to our terminal right here, trust folder, and just run OpenCode over here. Now, in some cases, your OpenCode might not run over here. So in my case, it did run. But what you have to do is say this: set execution policy dash scope current user execution policy remote signed. So cool. After you do this, then try to run OpenCode, and it should run something like this. Awesome. And now see, you can see the model that is selected is different. So we need to select our model. So I'll say slash model, and over here you'll see the list of all of these different models right here. And looks like our model is not here for some reason. And I think the reason for that this will be models, not just model right here. Let's go on and try running it again. I'm going to say OpenCode. And there we go. It is picking up our model now. Awesome. Let's just try to say hi over here just to test. All right, there we go. We can see the reply right here. Hello, how can I assist you today? Now let's try to go on and give it an actual task over here. So I'm going to say build a reusable React data table component with sorting and pagination. I'm going to say use TypeScript and structure it so it can display a list of tasks. I'll also let it know that we want it to be created in Next.js. So I'll say create a Next.js app first, then the component. Let's press enter. And there we go. It has started building it. This is initializing a new Next.js app right now. There we go. We can see it has defined all of these different to-dos that it will pick step by step to build our component. And now it is writing all of this code over here for our component as well. Awesome. Now we can notice that we have our Next.js app being initialized right here. We have components. Let me shrink this a little bit. We have types right here. We have the layout and page.tsx, etc. Okay, so it's doing everything right now. Looks like it is done. And it is asking us actually to run this npm run dev. Okay, let's go on and open a new terminal. I'm going to switch to that particular folder and I'll say npm run dev. Let's go to our browser and I'm going to go to localhost 3000, and there we go. How beautiful our task manager is looking right now. We can see we can have different rows per pages as well. We can even change the page with respect to this. Now, obviously, this is a simple example, but you get the idea, right? These local AI models are powerful enough to be able to help you in your day-to-day tasks. But we are not going to be stopping right here. Let's take it one step further. I'm going to say now add a Next.js API route for this task manager that accepts a post request to create a new task, validates the body with Zod, and returns proper error handling for invalid input. Okay, now this will enable us to make our app dynamic. Let's press enter and allow it to do it. Okay, there we go. It is defining its objective and stuff. It has already identified that these are all the things that it has completed. It's identifying all the relevant files and all. And it is now building it. So let's wait and we'll come back once it is done. All right, looks like it is done. Let me just close the terminal and check this out. It has written this routes and everything, route.ts right here. Let's go and actually check. Okay, there we go. It has added now task addition form right here. It has some bugs here and there, but that is fine. Let's just go on and add a task. Let's say shoot video. Okay, so it has currently this color bug right here. That's fine. I'm going to quickly go on and fill it up. Click on add task. Has it been added? Yep, there we go. It has been added at the very end. Awesome. So you get the idea, right? Everything is working flawlessly with our local AI as it would be working with our cloud AI. Now actually let me show you another use case of local AI. A lot of times when we are learning something, we would tend to go on and input ChatGPT some code snippet and tell it to explain us, right? So we can say explain this code, and over here we can paste the code. I've pasted a custom hook right here. So let's see how it explains us how this code works. All right, there we go. It shows us that there's a React custom hook called use debounce, how it works, etc., right? So yeah, these are some of the use cases that local AI can help you do and can replace, ChatGPT, Claude, etc. But let me be straight with you. We can see inside of our app, there were a few use cases where it broke a little bit. These are normal hallucination that AI generally tends to do. And sometimes you have to be very specific with it, right? Models like GPT or Sonnet that we use, they are very powerful when it comes to executing or reasoning with the code. So you have to be very specific on what you're trying to achieve and what are the different things that you're trying to do with local AI. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that local AI can do every single thing. No, it cannot. But it can definitely replace a lot of things that ChatGPT and Claude tend to do. And it can save you tons of tokens with those LLM models. Now, apart from web dev, if you're a science student, maths, technology, engineering, that is basically a STEM student, you might be using something like Jupyter Notebook in your day-to-day coursework. And every time using online services or cloud is not ideal, right? So why don't we go on and check how Jupyter actually performs in our with our local GPU. So if I click on new over here and click on local GPU, there we go, our new Jupyter Notebook has been opened. Now before running something heavy, let's just confirm the GPU is actually visible. So I'm gonna run this code right here. I'm gonna click on this play button and there it is. It's printing Nvidia GeForce RTX 5060. Awesome. Let's actually try to run some heavy code right here. I'm actually going to delete this and run this code right here. Click on play. You can see training on CUDA and it took this much time to run. And we can also see right here inside of our GPU, it shows all of the usage over here. Awesome. And this is the CUDA cores that are doing the actual work, not the CPU. So as a student, local GPU is very helpful for tasks like these. Now, apart from daily coding, I game a lot. From The Last of Us to God of War to the latest Resident Evil Requiem. Yes, this laptop is capable of running all of these latest games inside of it. And by the way, this is the same GPU that was running my AI models a few minutes ago. So, did local AI actually replaced ChatGPT or Claude for things like autocomplete, component generation, or using Jupyter Notebook? Gaming, yes, for sure. I mean, gaming cannot be done on ChatGPT and stuff. But yeah, for the daily tasks, it can. But for real multi-agent work and harder reasoning tasks, Cloud AI is still ahead. But even getting my daily tasks handled helps me massively and saves me a lot of token and money. And also, by the way, if you guys are interested to buy this laptop, I've given the link in the description down below so you can click on it and check it out.